On AFL Today, the games are done, so the time for talking starts. Leo, you are up and about this week, mate.
I'm fired up. I reckon there's a top four side that cannot win the flag.
Ooh, there's a lot of love for key forwards as well. They should be getting more votes in the Brownlow.
Key forwards deserve all of the love. All of that, much more. AFL Today starts now. Round 9 is done and dusted, and we are no clearer on who's going to play finals this year. Welcome to AFL Today's Weekend Wrap. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. I'm joined by a man who is fired up. He's got a big take for us. It's Leo Mullaly. What's up, Leo?
I am fired up. I'm feeling good. I'm going to tell you a team that cannot win the flag, and it is currently a top four side.
Ooh.
How's that? How's that?
Is actually
I
pretty
like
good.
it. I like it. That's actually got me ready to listen to you later on tonight. So
Well,
this is
first
good.
for everything.
Yeah, exactly. And a guy, he's just suffered. He's honestly suffered. His team have found new ways to give him hope, but also let him down at the same time. It is the stats guy, Liam McAllion. Hello, stats guy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Liam.
I'm just rattled after that North game, but we didn't lose.
You found a way
But
to
we
not
found
win
another
again.
way not to win. That's 3 weeks in a row where I'm absolutely gutted. I'm coming into this show with 2 points for once, though. But I'm still gutted. This is brutal.
Wait,
And
so the whole show, you've just got 2 points.
yeah, 2 points. Yeah, just 2 points. Well, definitely not. This has been the best weekend of footy for a couple of years, I reckon. It's been awesome. Yeah.
6 games decided by 10 points or less with an average margin of 10.3 with a draw thrown in for good measure. Now, later on in the show, I will tell you a team who will not miss the top 6 this season, despite not winning this weekend. They even may sneak into the top 4. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. You can watch the last minute of North Melbourne and Brisbane through the eyes of the stats guy. He looks very, very broken.
At the start, I was genuinely putting it on. And then that was just me. That's just me sitting on my couch at home, like legit.
Yeah, just with all your friends.
Yeah.
But of course, make sure you do hit the notifications bell and the subscribe button on YouTube as well. So anytime we do a video, it comes up in your notification zone. But anyway, let's rip into the ladder check after round 9 of the AFL. Brisbane Lions still on top of the ladder on 30 points, 7-1-1. That draw could come in handy later in the year for top 4 positions. Collingwood still in second after a big win on the weekend. Hawthorn there in third. They're both on 28. 2 teams on 24 points are Gold Coast and Adelaide. Gold Coast's dominant percentage has them up there, 135. It is the best in the top 8 at the moment. And then we have a glutton of teams on 20 points. Dogs, Cats, Giants, and Essendon. That fills out the top 9. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, all on 16 points. Carlton down to Port Adelaide. Swans, Melbourne, and Richmond on 12 points. That's not great. North Melbourne still second last, and West Coast still winless.
Ooh, I'm going no one below, 11th and below can make finals. That's what I'm calling.
That is a big
They're all
call.
crap. They're all crap. The Freo is 11th, and they're crap, and everyone below them is proven to be crap. So I'm going no one below 11th.
Look, I don't want to pump Alex up, but if Sydney get their players
Yeah.
back, I think they'll make a charge.
Yeah, like
You lost to Essendon at the same
And
as
don't
us.
forget about my beloved St Kilda here.
Yeah.
They just had a blip in the radar on Friday night. They're
Yeah.
still thereabouts.
You're writing off a Sydney team without their 2 forwards, their 2 of their best
I know,
midfielders,
yeah.
and 1 of their best defenders.
Ah.
That's a bold call, Cotton, but you're used to being wrong.
Don't forget about North Melbourne. They're about to sort of
We're about to. We've got that handy 2 points. Help us charge up the ladder.
I think that just means North will finish 17th instead of 18th this year. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the round 9 results from this week and the games. Thursday night, Optus Stadium. Fremantle were well on show here. 12-11-83, defeated by Collingwood, who anytime they went inside 50 decided to kick a goal. 15-7-97. Stats guy, take it away.
Yeah, this was my one. Really fun game, mainly from the smalls.
This was painful to watch.
I liked it because I liked
thought
when
it was all right.
I liked when Freo, as a Freo fan, this would be definitely painful to watch. They had a lot of inside 50s, but on the other end, the Pies smalls just absolutely dominated. Yeah, Jamie Elliott was probably given a little bit too much room, but he was always in the right spots. And he was kicking them from everywhere. He's one of the best set shots, I'd say, in the game. You can kick them from 50. The clutch moments, there was a few stages where they needed a goal just to get back in front. He was unbelievable. 6 goals. You had Bobby Hill kicking 3 goals. They sort of have that, not that great forward line. Obviously, they had Meyer check out. But when they have these guys stepping up, their forward line's fine. They've showed that in the grand final a few years ago. That because everyone says their forward line's not that good. Another one, Alex talked about this off screen as well. Luke Ryan. He's always good at Supercoach. He had 120 in Supercoach, but he's been absolutely bombing it every week, and it's costing Freo so many goals.
Mate, he forgot that he was meant to be on Jamie Elliott and let him get out the back and kick 6. Like, This was an abomination of defense from Fremantle.
It was.
They actually forgot what their job was. The amount of Joe the Goose out the back goals. But then you had the 4 or 5 goals that went about half a metre over the line. It's like, do you not have depth perception?
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? And like, if you're lowering your eyes, Josh Tracy, why did that sound weird? He had 2 goals to start the game. If they're lowering their eyes every time, he's going to take so many more marks. And if I'm a Freo fan, it's definitely fraud mantle now. I think we said this last year about
they're
it. They're done. I know they're only 11th and they're still close, but the confidence is gone. What else have we got? The inside 50s that we talked about. Not good. 62 to 34 inside 50s. Collingwood had 15 goals.
Inside 50 for 62 entries.
Leo, you had a bit of a stat on that one, the 6 marks.
I did.
Oh, you did? I can read it out.
I don't think I did.
Oh, you sent this to me actually. But the Freo key forwards, there's 3 key forwards.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
2 rucks for a total of 6 inside 50 marks. Real worry. I was a bit disappointed in Freo on that side. And for the Pies, just another big positive to getting this win. Nick Dacos, not much impact at all.
Yeah.
They had no effect resting all those players, and they were coming off a 5-day break.
Yeah.
Like, that is a premiership winning caliber team right there.
100% is. They are the flag favourites right now. Sean Darcy injured again. I would be finding a way to cut his contract.
Yeah, him and Jackson, what do we think? Doesn't work?
Just I would be finding a way to get rid of Sean Darcy.
Yeah, you guys were big on this because
I was never big on Sean Darcy.
getting
big on, like,
rid of it.
Oh, I've been big on that for 2 years.
Who is there a team out there that needs someone like Sean
Port.
Darcy?
Geelong.
Geelong, yeah.
I think Port would fit at Port.
He could go across. He could honestly go across town to West Coast.
Richmond, if Nang retires.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
fair. One guy from Collingwood I thought really stepped up. He obviously had the tried to kick the match-winning goal in the fairy tale moment last week. Missed. He had 29 disposals and 2 goals. Jack Crisp. Redemption. He was awesome. I don't know if people saw during the week he recreated his finish.
Yeah.
It was very funny with his wife. Yeah.
Oh,
So
lovely.
that was really good fun. And then I got a few stats for you. I know that I don't always
You're the
I need to
stats
bring them.
guy.
Here we go. So Craig McRae has yet to lose when flying west of Australia. So he has 9 wins and 1 draw. Sorry, west of Victoria. I should have said that.
Does that
West of
include
Victoria.
South Australia?
I'm pretty sure because it's 9 wins and a
Because I was
draw.
about to say, there's no way Collingwood have played 10 games in WA in 3 years.
No, so there'll be a few Adelaide wins in there and then a few WA wins because they had the draw last year as well. So he's never lost when flying west, which is a bit of a weird one.
He loses when he flies north to Sydney, though.
Yeah, but Freo, the other one we talked about during the week was Caleb Sarong. He had the mouth guard at training.
He brought
He
his
was fired
mouth
up.
guard for 3 quarters this week.
He was great for 3 quarters. I think in the other 3 quarters, other than the second, he had 8 touches at least in all those quarters.
Yep.
The second quarter when Collingwood got a run on, he had 2.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
Wasn't ideal for Mamolti.
Again, I think he needs to. I don't know. He needs to have a 4-quarter effort. I don't think he's done that for most of the season. Your man Brayshaw's been really good. Yeah,
Best Supercoach pick of the year, picking
Yes.
Brayshaw over him.
Yeah.
Also the sneaky Brownlow hope. But it's the forward entries. This is the end of the day for Fremantle. Bad forward entries, and we'll talk about more terrible forward entries in some other games later this week as well. But that Fremantle, that is one that I'll just go, oh, that's not great. You have a look at the next couple of games. Fremantle have GWS, Gold Coast, and Port. Not in that order, but only one of them at home. They could be in trouble if all of a sudden, at the bye, they are, 4 and 8?
Yep.
Ooh, I didn't think about that one.
Fan bases. Freo are like, oh.
Freo are like,
They're going to be so frustrated. Yeah, Longmuir, we haven't talked about him. It was a big test for him, and again they've failed with a lackluster Pies team. Sometimes.
And Collingwood are like, this is sick. We're going to win the flag.
Yep.
Well, for the fans as well, for the fan bases, they've got 12 of their last 14 games. They're in Victoria.
Ugh.
Classic Pies. Get the fixture.
You'd
and
be
I hate it so
pretty
much.
happy if you're a Pies
You'd
fan,
be
man.
really happy, and you'd be really happy if Leo didn't use that lisp
That's
every
true,
time.
yeah. They've all clicked off.
Yeah, that's
No, not yet. Anyway, the Pies fans will be absolutely up and about, and Freo, no good.
Friday night MCG for Spuds games. St Kilda 9-8-62, defeated by Carlton 11-11-72. This was my game. Quick question to the panel.
Yes.
Was this Harry Mackay's best game in a couple of years? 3 goals, 10 marks, 19 possessions.
Yes.
And the match winner.
And a shank as well.
But he
I'm
got
kidding.
the-
That's mean. That's
He
mean.
got
That's
a match winner.
mean. That's mean.
He's come back from mental health issues. He's
Very good,
dominated.
yes.
I think that was definitely
That
one
was
of
a
his best
complete
games.
game.
Yeah.
He looked confident.
Yeah.
100%. It was good to see him back in some good form.
They got these little bobblehead. I don't know if they can see
Yeah, that's
that
why
on
I put the Harry Mackay bobblehead up
fair.
there.
I thought it was Crips.
He's got a bit of hair there. Yeah.
So we look at this and it's like, nothing in this game really convinced me about Carlton because I was watching this game going, I'm waiting for both of these teams to somehow lose this game.
Yep.
Like,
Especially second half.
the second half. Well, in the first half, there was 32 stoppages. In the third quarter alone, there was 35 stoppages.
It's the typical Ross Lyon quarter, that one.
I know.
They kicked one early, I reckon,
Yeah.
Saints, and then,
They've been more attacking this year than
They have.
Yeah, but that third quarter.
But that third quarter was shocking.
Yes.
But it's like you look at Carlton. It's like, okay, they had their injuries, but they're kind of bad and kind of just good at the same time. Like McGovern went to hospital. Apparently he's all right. Haynes had hurt his hammy.
Yeah.
Cowan and Akers both went down. Cowan was out for the game, but Haynes and Akers sort of pushed through as well. But like they're walking wounded at the moment. Carlton. Like we know there's not a lot of depth there. And you sort of have a look around the ground where the matchups was. Harry Mackay doing a lot. Obviously, Hewitt and Cripps got a lot of the footy as well as they always do. I thought TDK and Marshall was a really good battle.
Always going to be one to watch, I reckon.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
But should St Kilda just give Naz the 1.7 million?
That's what I was saying on the
I'm going to
couch.
say no, though.
Oh.
Because he's elite, but I think there's still some moments in his game that he could tidy up that doesn't make him that level.
He's very young.
But they probably have to give him that to keep him.
He's going to look good at Adelaide next year.
They need an elite
Yeah,
kick more than
yeah.
they need him more than TDK right now.
Do you reckon
in
he's
my
thinking
opinion.
in his head, he watches the showdown, he's like, imagine if I kicked that to Thilthorpe.
Yeah, right? Well, I could
He's
be
got
like-
Jack Higgins, mate. It's all good. Jack Higgins got more.
but you look at that, it's like he's the game breaker that you watching that game, you're like, St Kilda desperately need a game breaker because the game was there for them to win it. Whereas Carlton, they have their moments and flashes of brilliance with your Cripps and Hewitt and everyone else.
Well, Hewitt stepped up
just
this year,
popping
yeah.
up and doing little bits when they need. And of course, Mackay. Charlie kicked a couple of goals early, but it was a grinding result for Carlton, which is one that they needed to have. But it's St Kilda, you're like, they need a key forward. This is where they're missing King badly.
Well, that was the commentators mentioned it a lot. They were going down the line to Jack Higgins. Jack Higgins weirdly was putting up good fights down the line, but you can't be doing that. He's the smallest man on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, I did love seeing Mateus Philippou back.
Yeah, the poo.
Like,
He could be that game breaker, but he
will
needs
be.
to work
Oh,
into
yeah,
it.
that's after the bye once he builds back his fitness.
Would you hate that nickname though? The poo.
No.
No, he'd love it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be called a poo.
His name's Mateus.
Yeah,
Mark
true.
Philippou's just Mateus Philippou. It's fine. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I don't know. Just something about it.
But yeah, so
That's right with me.
in the end, this is one where St Kilda are like, how didn't we win that? And Carlton are like, thank God we won that. That's sort of the end feeling there. It's
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
well done. Fan base of St Kilda are like, bugger.
Yeah, it's
that
one of
was-
the ones where they could have won.
As it was Spud's game as well. I think that was a missed opportunity for them to win that.
Well, they win that. They're ninth, and they're jump a game above Carlton as well because they go to 20 points and Carlton are still on 12 as well.
yeah.
And Flag is like, that's good. Oh, can we do it in Sydney next
We
week?
call them
'Cause-
flaggers.
Oh, no, that's a jinx and a half. Also, they've finally beaten someone outside of West Coast, Richmond, North, and Geelong.
Well done,
there you go.
They beat-
Carlton.
They beat 12th. Well done.
Yeah, but that's a win they needed because they lose those weird type of games. So
Yeah.
fair play to Carlton.
Saturday, MCG, Melbourne 7-14-56, defeated by Hawthorn 13-13-91. I saw about 7 minutes of this.
That's all you needed to see. It wasn't that pretty.
If you saw the last 7 minutes, it was beautiful.
Unfortunately, it was the
beautiful
third,
for
it was
me.
the third quarter.
I want to start this by talking about Clayton Oliver.
Oh.
So he was introduced into this game as a tagger, which, copped a bit of flack from a lot of people, but I thought it was a really good move by Simon Goodwin. It showed maturity from Clary as well to have a task and just be focused at it. He kept Newcomb to 19 disposals, look, only had 13 himself, but I think by playing that selfless role, it meant Track was amazing. Like Track was, I thought, the best player up until
He was
third
really
time.
good. Yeah.
And Harvey Langford. I know you're a big fan of him, Alex.
Big
He's
Harvey
building.
Langford
He's
guy.
3 goals, I think 20 disposals. But what really stood out to me are his jukes. He is so good overhead. I reckon just chuck him one-on-one in the goal square, just quietly.
He's got a damaging left
He'd
peg.
make defenders very scary, like
How
scared
tall
down
is he?
there.
Let's have a
He's
look.
not
about
very tall.
190. He's
Yeah.
about 190, I reckon.
Oh, there you go. Not very
He-
tall.
he's
He's
great
just a bit
overhead.
taller than me. Yeah.
He like phenomenal overhead. You couldn't, like, if he gets it up there, it's very
190.
hard to
There you
spoil.
go.
Wow, he's just 2 centimeters taller than me. I did not think he was that tall.
No, he's a
The
tall
modern
boy. He's a tall
player.
boy. The modern
The
day
modern player,
AFL
you got to
player.
be tall these days.
But the D's just couldn't convert. Simple as that. They missed easy chances.
I know.
It let
Bailey
them
Fritsch has
down.
got to go to the 2s.
Yeah, he was disappointing. He missed one on the siren in the first
He had
quarter.
4 touches.
Yeah, he should have kicked that one as well in the first. With the Hawks, they just turned it on in the last, especially the midfield. But Alex, I want you to chat to
Yes.
me about this old bloody veteran. He's having a renaissance. Who is it?
Jack Gunston. Unfortunately, I was going to talk up how good his goal kicking is.
Oh, no.
Which,
Wait, where is this going?
which it is on the reg, but he kicked 3 goals.
Yeah,
4.
he left a couple out
That's
there.
usually 6 goals, 1 for a
True,
Jack
true,
Gunston.
yeah.
Because he does. It's the most underrated thing in football, kicking goals.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jack Gunston this season, he has popped up in games like these for Hawthorn in the last month. What is he? He's kicked 23 goals this season.
Yep, equal third in the Coleman.
Unbelievable. He's like 55 years
No
old.
one would have thought he would do this year when last year he was sub, he was in and out. He had that year in Brisbane as well. But this has just been, this is another avenue for Hawthorn where defenders now need to worry about Jack Gunston. It's like, he'll have 15 and 1.
You
It's
don't need
fine.
Mitch Lewis. Just Jack Gunston will play for 10 more years.
We do
Jack
need-
Gunston will play for 10 more years.
Mitch Lewis, don't listen to it.
Like LeBron.
You feel safe when Jack Gunston has the footy in his hands kicking for goal.
Except for the first half.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, I tend to agree. And just quickly on Sicily as well. I thought
Sicily watch.
he got better as the game went on, but he's still probably not at his level with a big month coming up.
I think he played all right, but it was against the worse opposition towards the end of the game. But
he needed a
was
game
solid.
to get back into a form. I don't know if that was it.
And it was really good for him. I was watching the Hawks until the last quarter. You didn't play that free sort of style, but your fitness took over. I thought in the last quarter it was really good.
Yeah.
So before you get to your final point, Leo, Hawthorn will be in fraud watch in the power rankings.
Oh.
Despite winning, we will reference
That
why
sounds like my power rankings.
in the power rankings.
Thing is, Alex, I tend to agree with you there.
He's the most pessimistic Hawks fan, which we will get into.
Stats guy, I'm going to give you 30 seconds on why I think Hawthorn cannot win the flag
All
right.
this is to back
Go,
up my
I'm
point.
timing you.
this year. You're going to time me? All
Yeah.
right. Look, next 5 games are going to find us a lot of, find out a lot about Hawthorn. We've got the Suns away, Lions, Pies, Dogs, and Crows.
Ooh.
We'll know then. I just think Hawthorn need to play the perfect game to win AFL. They have to have everything centimetre perfect. And teams that bring the highest amount of pressure will stifle that. And I just don't think it can stand up in the biggest of big games.
That
Was that 30 seconds?
That was under, I reckon.
27.
Oh,
Nice.
that was actually
That's
pretty
how we
good.
do it.
That's how we do it here.
So, I reckon you're a bit harsh on your own team. I agree that they're not playing as well as last year, the back end of last year. I reckon there's 2 teams right now in the top 4 that can't win the flag. Hawthorn and Gold Coast.
Yeah,
Gold
that's
Coast
fair.
just don't have the experience.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
you love Gold Coast. But yeah, that's fair call. You made some good points.
So
Thank you.
fan bases, D's fans are like, oh man, goal kicking.
There's enough there, though, for the Ds,
Yeah.
I think. They've got to stay
What,
fit.
for
If they have
next
a
year?
few injuries, then the depth will
Yeah.
be very worrying.
Hawthorn fans are either like Leo or they're going to win the flag. There is no in
There's no
between
in
with
between.
Leo
Hawks
or
fans.
Wally, who works in the office, who
Yes, Wally.
thinks
Yeah.
we're going to win the flag.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get across to Marvel Stadium. Essendon 11-5-71 defeated by the umpires.
Oh, here we go.
Nah, this-
I'm walking out of
I'm
this.
getting-
And all the Essendon fans have clicked off.
Sorry, Essendon fans. The Swans 8-15-63. So I'm going to get it out of the way right now. I am a Sydney Swans fan, as we all know. These are the things Sydney Swans fans need to be angry about before the umpires. Goal kicking,
Yep.
forward entries, then the umpires.
But I'll put the umpires a bit further down. But
Umpires
yes.
are third.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you
I
that.
think the other two are like heads above the umpires.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, out of the way
Not
straight
for
away. We did talk about it like during the week leading up to it. Obviously, Jordan going to Zach Merritt is the way to go to stifle them.
Fun matchup.
19 touches and 2 goals.
I'd take that, though, if I was Essendon. You get 2 goals out
You'd
of it.
rather Merritt having an impact forward than in the midfield, I'd
If
say.
I know Jordan, that's a tick for Jordan.
That's a
but
tick for Jordan.
If you're an Essendon fan and Merritt kicks 2 goals, I think you're pretty happy.
In the first 10 minutes, Zach Merritt had wandered to the forward 50 and was 100 metres away from the footy. As a Swans fan, I'm like, this is
you
great.
want that. Yeah.
Zach Merritt is nowhere around there. But then you sort of have a look through this game. It freed up Nick Martin, Andy McGrath, Redmond. Bloody Will Setterfield played the greatest game I've ever seen him play.
He's good at his best. He's a good player, Will Setterfield.
But it's like there was a lot of possessions there, and I was sitting with a couple of Essendon fans, and it's like they'd get the footy and they'd be like, oh, what do we do? They'd go sideways, they go backwards, they go sideways, they go backwards. When Essendon looked at their best in this game, it was headless chooks through the midfield, run and carry with handball, and they looked very good. At halftime, the Essendon fans like, this is the best half of footy that we have played all year. And I'm like, that's not great because you've kicked 3 goals from 50-metre penalties.
Yeah,
Like,
they
that-
did play well, and especially the first quarter, they dominated.
Yeah, they did get their run on when they ran and carried. Nate Caddy, I did not know he was that agile. Like, I'm a big fan of Nate Caddy. 3 goals, but the way he moved about, a couple of chase down tackles that he did, he was fantastic. He should be favourite for the Rising Star.
Who are you take? I think there was people having a discussion about this. Cadman or Caddy right now? I'm taking
Right
Caddy.
now, Caddy.
But
I'm
they're
a
both
big
going to be
Cadman guy.
Yeah, you like Cadman. They're both going to be up there. They're around the same age. I reckon there would be a really cool battle in the future for a Coleman, maybe.
Under my head right now, Caddy.
Oh, no, he said Caddy, so I believe it. Take it back.
Yeah, no, I would. Because if you have Caddy in that forward line with Jesse Hogan, he'd kick even more goals.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Hayes on debut.
Oh, I know.
Footy is cruel.
Oh,
ACL for the poor bugger. He looked fantastic.
Yeah.
To the Swans. This is a game that, once again, for probably the 3rd time this year, that they should have won. plus 22 contested possessions, plus 22 inside 50s, plus 7 scoring shots. It's 8 goals, 15 tells it. Justin McInerney, mate, you need to go back to Auskick and learn how to drop a footy.
His kicking is terrible.
Ball drop was deplorable. Chad Warner tried to put the Swans on his back. He did absolutely everything he could. Dean Cox, there are just some different decisions he needs to make in the coach's box. Like Hamlin cannot play in the forward line ever again.
Oh,
yeah, no.
You could tell
he's not a good forward.
You're not going to win many games with Hamlin, McLean, and Francis.
Yeah, you could tell in the first 10 minutes they needed to go back. And Angus Sheldrick can never be the sub ever again.
He was good when he came on.
He was good.
Have you got your beef bracelet on?
He lifted for me, kicked a goal, 12 touches.
He wears that in the shower.
Yeah, I don't take it off, mate. My love for beef is unparalleled. Oh, because I did the guard of honor. I was the only one taking a photo of Angus Sheldrick as he ran out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you rather never eat beef again, but if you do, Sheldrick plays every game for the Swans?
Oh, and he's good.
And he's like, not good, like solid.
That's fine. I can eat chicken and pork.
Oh, there we go. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. And at the end of this, so like, good on Essendon for winning, but the tension in the stadium in the last quarter was hilarious.
Yeah, they all would have been like on the edge of their seats.
We were so close to having like
scary.
the funniest result ever. But my overall like take of this is both teams are no good.
Well, Essendon, is that how many?
5 and 3.
5 and 3.
I don't think they're much
well.
good.
I know but
if that's the best that they can play, and they relied on 750-meter penalties, a couple of
last week against North,
bad free kicks, and then the Swans playing like that, falling over against North, they're a couple.
Why can't North be like that? They just fall over the line like Essendon.
They've got a test against the Dogs next week.
Yes,
Meek test.
So fan bases, Essendon are like, thank God we won that. We need to do it again next week. If you beat the Western Bulldogs, I'll be a believer. And Sydney Swans fans are like, where's Errol?
Yeah,
I miss Errol.
Yeah, you've missed Errol for ages. Have you been dreaming about him?
I have. I'm not even a Swans fan.
Mate, they posted a video of him running the other day.
Oh,
got me going.
Made me want to run a marathon.
It did. All right, let's get up to Darwin stats, man. Gold Coast 15-16-106 defeated the Western Bulldogs 14-12-96. What a ripper.
This was a bloody awesome game. The Suns, I will touch on them up there. The Darwin Suns, we should be calling them the Darwin Crocs or whatever you want to call them up there. That is 7 straight wins up there on Darwin.
Who tipped against the Suns on the weekend?
Marcus,
get into him. My whole family, a dog, like half my family's dog, they all tipped him. I was the only one that tipped the Suns.
That's a rude thing to say about your family.
They all tipped the dog. Did I say
Shout out to Mark and
No,
Karen.
I love him. No, my mum's a unsmart North fan, but that's all right. Dogs kicked 5 goals in the last quarter, but couldn't come back. Are they still contenders? I just want to put that on the top.
100%. That's a great effort.
I think 10
No
points.
Treloar as well.
If you're getting within 10 points to the Darwin Suns.
Technically, it was 4 because King kicked a goal after the siren.
It was on the siren.
It still counts as technically.
Yeah, but no, that's what I mean. Like, it was a goal. It was a goal.
Oh, sorry.
And he's kicked the goal after the siren.
Yes.
Yes, but it also shows to me that Gold Coast, like, wins like this are why I'm a Gold Coast truther.
Yeah.
They did enough.
But the thing is, 2 years ago, Gold Coast would have fallen over and folded in that game when the Dogs got rolling. They had 5 minutes to defend and they defended it.
The Dogs were talking up big time. So that's a really big win for the Suns. This game also lived up to the scoring hype. You had almost both teams scoring over 100. We'll touch on that later, but Marcus's big call was very, very close. They both could have kicked a few more goals. It was really tough conditions as always. It's like playing with a ball in dishwashing soap as a few teams have trained. Like Kingy, I think he had 3 goals, 3 in the end.
So we did talk about that if Gold Coast play well, he averages 4 goals a game.
And he pretty much got that because he kicked a few points as well. The players as well, it is so tough playing up there. When Ben King took his shot in the second quarter, he was on his hands and knees absolutely buggered. It's so tough playing up there. A guy that we have talked about, but probably not enough. I think one of the best recruits of the year that we haven't put him up in that category. I
think we have.
We've said he's been great, but not the best recruit of the year. Matt Kennedy. He was.
I've said that he is already.
No, but have we said the best recruit of the year? He's in it.
I don't know if he's the best.
He's up
recruit,
there,
but he's in the top 3.
Top 3. 3 goals, 19 disposals, 7 tackles. He was just like. So many people were fumbling. He would pick it up, goal. Pick it up, set up a goal. He was one of the best on ground.
One of the best recruits of the season was also in the other team. You can choose between the weapon John Noble and Dan Rioli as well.
I don't know about
I think
that.
Kennedy's been better.
But no, what I mean is they've been brilliant as well. Like they've added that run and carry. They both kicked a goal for Gold Coast as well. They had 20 odd touches each. Like they are bringing plenty to the Suns.
No, they are.
Sure.
They are.
I want to give a shout out to Libba as well. 35 touches.
What a man.
Great. Yeah.
10 clearances.
Yeah,
10
I believe.
tackles.
Yeah.
In those conditions as an inside mid.
But he loves those conditions.
It just doesn't look like a footballer. No, what's he doing out there?
He runs like this. He's got the weird tats.
It was like he was back in Vietnam playing footy.
Yeah,
he looks like
when he had the hair.
me running to the pub.
You run?
I run, mate.
You run like this?
Check out my Strava.
You should get a Libertat. Like Homer Simpson
How
tap.
much you pay me?
Is there a number? How much? $100.
Deal.
I don't know. I was going to say more, and then you would have shook on it.
No,
But-
Libba was great.
Yeah, Libba was great. The top 4 of, I believe, disposal winners were the Dogs.
Yeah, but
And
then
it just showed-
the next 4 were Suns.
Yeah, it showed a bit, though, that the Suns' depth, I think, overall is a slightly better.
Slightly, yeah.
Just slightly better, and that's probably what got him over the line, in my opinion, just because there was other guys that stepped up. They don't have to rely on the Libba to get 30 plus to win, whereas you can have Matt Rowell get around that 19, 20 and still have the impact.
I mean, Gold Coast did have 62 inside 50s as well, despite having 40 less disposals.
Yeah. And then, Alex, you've been big on the Dogs. You were very up and down at the start of the year. You apologised to Bevo and said, the Dogs are all right. What's your call on the Dogs here, mate?
They will not miss the top 6 this season, despite losing on Saturday night. So their run home post-bye. So their last, 13, 14 games. They have 9 games at Marvel. They've got one at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. They play a game at the MCG. They play the Cats in Geelong. They play Brisbane up at the Gabba, and they travel to the Swans and play them at the SCG. You can very easily see the Dogs winning 12 of those games because they're better than the Swans. They can give Geelong a run for their money. Mars Stadium's like just an absolute fortress for them at the moment, and they're always good at Marvel. So you say maybe they lose. I don't know who they're playing at the MCG. I haven't actually looked. I just looked at the stadiums they're playing at. Maybe the Geelong game. It's like, well, you bank 7 or 8 of those wins at Marvel. You are top 6, top 4.
Well, they could even be top 4. Like
Never finished top 4 under Bevo. That's why I'm not saying they'll finish top 4. That's why
fair.
I'll say they'll be top 6.
Is this the best? I know they lost. I feel like we're talking them up too much, but is this the best footy they've been playing under Bevo?
Yes.
Even with the flag?
Yeah.
Other than the
Since
final.
the flag.
Since the flag, yeah.
No, I'm including the flag
But
in
yeah.
that.
Fan bases, do we want to touch on them?
Gold Coast Ladies is great. We're going to beat Hawthorn.
Yep.
Oh, that's an early
Oh,
cry.
I don't want to think about that one.
The Suns look so good.
That's what I mean. Like, they don't lose in Darwin now. Like early on when
Yeah.
they were bad, they did. And then they don't. And then for Dogs fans, they're like, all right, that's annoying. Essendon next week at Marvel.
Please. As an Essendon hater.
Leo asked very nicely for that. So moving on, let's go to the showdown.
Oh,
What a
always awesome. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I feel like I
Permission granted.
Thank you, sir.
So Port Adelaide home game, 12-12-84, defeated by the Adelaide Crows, 13-11-89. So first of all, is this on everyone's bucket list of footy games to attend?
I said this in one of my mates' group chats. I was like, I've been together and we've been together around.
I've been to Anzac Day, I've been to a
Anzac
grand
Day.
final, I've been to a Battle of the Bridge.
Derby
Showdown.
out west, I reckon.
Imagine Hindley Street after a showdown. Whoa, that would be wild.
Yeah, watch
Yeah.
out. Keep
Watch out,
your
the ball.
pockets safe.
The ball better watch out. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what.
So Leo, the big question coming into this is, would Port lift and rise to the occasion because they're an emotional team? They did.
Yeah, we chatted about that on the Thursday show. They were right up for the task. So that's what they do for these big games. Port fans are going to hate us saying this, but they are an emotional side. Ken charges them up for these big games, and they do deliver. Connor Rosie, he won the medal, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 32
Which,
touches.
a joke, like Thriller should have won.
I'm
I
still
reckon
always say
Rosie-
this: you shouldn't be allowed to win a medal if you lose. I don't care if you have 50 touches; you shouldn't be allowed to.
I
Your team
thought
lost.
Rosie was
He was great
superb
though, yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
32 disposals. And yeah, they were up for it. They led the inside 50s 62-41. And I just think the difference in this game, which we'll touch on, is the Port's backline versus the Crows forwards. I watched the highlights back, and it was so often that when Adelaide found the mismatch inside 50, it was just a goal automatically. You got, Farrell on Fogarty, you got Burton on Fogarty and Thilthorpe. That's not a good matchup at all for Port. And Thriller was
Burton's
just
down
like,
there.
this is all Thriller has to do.
Just stick the mitts out.
Stick the mitts out. He was fantastic. 3 goals, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So he was superb. And I think that was the difference in the end. That the start of the last quarter, the Crows just jumped them, and then Port were trying to come back late, and I think the right team won in the end.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They 100% did.
They really did.
Did the rivalry live up to its stats, man?
Oh, absolutely it did. It's another 5-point game.
That was a rhetorical question.
I'm just gonna. Well,
No.
It's road to stats guy. I'm just peek behind the curtains there, but of course it did. It's another close game. Again, we're saying this all the games so far. Some awesome games this round, and the showdown just always lifts. Can we have 3 showdowns a year? Every single time it's
Get it
awesome.
on a Friday night.
Get it on a Friday night. As who said
Matthew
it should
Lloyd.
be at the MCG?
No, Marvel.
That's even worse. That should never happen. The Adelaide Oval is where it should be. It is one of the best games in the AFL season. You got to lock it in every season.
It has to be a Friday night.
I want to see a Friday night.
I think they
showdown.
used to do it because Victorians
Didn't they
might not
do it
watch it.
last year? Wasn't it on a Thursday or Friday? Maybe it mustn't have rated well. That'd be
Maybe, but
why.
I think it would nowadays because like we're talking about it, everyone in Victoria talks about it nowadays. I think it should be a very big primetime game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Did this game also show you why Thriller's going to be the best forward for the comp in the next 10 years?
Or I think
Just the way
You're
that
forgetting about Marbia Chol, though.
No, I'm not.
That's
But there's-
funny.
anytime
You
the-
forget about Aaron Francis.
No.
Jack Darling.
Anytime
He's got another 10
anytime
years.
the ball went near Thriller, he was going to clunk it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I think it's partly because of Port didn't have someone that could match up on him. You put Sam Taylor or you put Wiedering on him, he's not going to
Oh,
dominate.
I'm backing Thriller in.
I still think he could have a big day on those key defenders.
Yeah,
not
100%.
every time, though.
Yeah, fair.
So
fair.
fan bases are like, oh, Port are like, oh, this emotional come down sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
They've got to play Geelong next week at home.
Yeah, this is the one that could have won because, like you said, the stats they did well in, they got it down there enough, but the Crows forwards were too good.
Yeah.
And then the Crows, they're like, that's great. We beat Port, but next week's the real one. Collingwood at the G.
That's going to be
Ooh.
epic. When's that one?
Saturday. 1:20. I'm going to go to that.
120.
Oh, no, I've got my best mate's getting married on Friday. I've got recovery at the Bells Hotel.
Straight into the G.
Stuff him. Go to the game.
I tell you what, every chance we may roll into the G.
Yeah, just
What a day.
all go there. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
that's fantastic. Oh, what a game. What a weekend. Sunday, back to the MCG. Speaking of the G, Richmond 11-15-81 defeated West Coast 11-13-79. Scoreline tells you that this close game was a good game. It wasn't great. Close games
like
are
it.
sometimes built up for being amazing. This was just two teams who aren't very good.
They both brought the pressure. They both it was like goal for goal in the second
but it's
half.
you bring the
It was
pressure.
exciting.
You're putting pressure on a lesser
No, I know what you're
opposition,
saying, yeah.
and players who aren't silky and as good as others are going to crumble under said pressure. So I've just got notes from throughout the whole thing.
Yep.
First thing I found a bit weird was Richmond fans booing Liam Baker.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was like, why would you boo him? You got pick 14 for Liam Baker, which pick 14 plus Shea Bolton then gave you three dudes who all played really well today.
He also won some. Forget about that. They won some premierships. Unless you did something against your club, and you've won a premiership, you've
No,
won a
Bolton.
championship. Well, but yeah,
They
that's
should
a-
have booed him.
Yeah, probably. But that's another one. But you should never get booed if you've won a premiership. I reckon that's a bit
I
unless you've
agree.
done something.
I agree.
Richmond should have been well in front of this game at halftime. They had all the footy. They were going forward with plenty of possession and just West Coast we don't know what to do without Jeremy McGovern here. And they just
Yeah.
could not convert and find a way to do it. Tom Lynch, I thought he'd have a pretty decent day without Jeremy McGovern. He was okay. Probably showed his limitations a little bit as well. But West Coast did get back very well. They worked very hard defensively. And then after sort of halftime, they came out. Richmond started well. But then West Coast finished much better. They got their defensive set up, and Hoff in the midfield, I thought, worked
Yeah, he's
really
been
well
there
for
a
West Coast.
A few weeks now, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
like it.
midfielder.
Yeah.
Where was he playing? He was
Back
playing
pocket.
half back or back pocket.
pocket.
Yeah.
Same with Hutchinson throwing him in there. I don't
Yeah.
mind
They
it.
need to just change it up, and I didn't mind that from Mick Walter.
Yeah, and then it's like the Eagles, they could sniff a win halfway through the third quarter, and they were on. It's like, then you had to look at some of the stats. In the first half, they only had 8 forward half intercepts. In the third quarter, they had 10.
Yeah.
Showing the pressure that they were putting on and just the work rate that they got in. And they changed up their forward line structure as well because Bailey Williams and Flynn were down there as well, alongside Waterman and a couple of others. They had 5 talls in that back line. So basically, Nathan Broad and Vlosten couldn't zone off and take intercept marks.
Yeah, it was actually decent tactics.
Yeah, it was. And it's like West Coast, you did all that work.
I know.
And you still couldn't lead at 3/4 time. Like Richmond just sort of,
Held
they'd
on.
find a way just to get another one and get another one. And then we got the full Harley experience in the third quarter.
Yeah, it happens one time a game.
He kicked that amazing goal.
Yeah,
Then he gave away a 50-meter penalty.
the classic.
And then he ran too far. And then he decided to wrestle Sam Waller.
Actually, Ginnivan tweeted about that. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Jack Ginnivan's an idiot.
Hey, hang on. You sound like all those old people right now.
Yeah.
He's bad for the game.
No, I'm not saying he's bad for the game. I'm saying he's an idiot. It's like, don't ping him for running too far. I'm sorry, Jack. It's a rule.
It's a fair
You have
rule.
to bounce the football.
Change the rules.
Yeah, we'll change the rules just for Harley Reid.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to just change it
And
just
Jason
for Harley
Francis
Reid.
doesn't have to have ice baths. Why can't I say ice baths? That happened the other week.
You've got an issue, mate. But anyway, so in this last quarter, this is all about the Tom Brown tackle with 30 seconds to go.
Bloody
That was
awesome.
epic. We did a clip on socials if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
He stuffed up,
awesome.
was it a couple of minutes before?
Yeah.
And then he's made up for it
He
with
made
a
up
chase down
for it.
tackle.
And Richmond had the footy in their forward half for like 80% of the game time in the first 15 minutes of that last quarter, and they just found a way to win. Like Tom Lynch, Kane McAuliffe, all sort of chipping in with important possessions and goals there. But it was just at the end of the day, Richmond did enough, and they were the better team and deserved to win. Like I thought, Sam Banks was great. Taranto was everywhere. Hopper got a lot of the footy, but didn't do a lot with it. I love Seth Campbell.
Yeah, he was
really
so quick.
good.
Even Mansell kicked a nice goal from the boundary. Their smalls like Seth Campbell and Mansell can put them in good stead, I reckon.
Yeah. And for West Coast, there's enough there where they're like, they'll win a game this year.
Yeah, but you'd be gutted if you're a fan.
Yeah, because they need to win those type of games. Because they were really good in the third quarter, but that's okay.
The fan bases, Richmond are just like, better than North and West Coast.
Well, they've locked in now 16th or higher. Like they cannot, like North aren't going to catch them.
North win next week, they're only a half game behind them. Because they're playing Richmond.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I don't think they've locked
Melbourne.
it in yet.
Melbourne could go low. Oh, Sydney could go lower. Who knows? No, I'm just joking.
Please. West Coast, like, oh boy, not great.
No, they'll be gutted with that one.
All right, let's get down to Taxpayer Park stats, man.
Yes.
Geelong, 14-17, 101. GWS, 16-9, 109. Yet another team who had more shots than the opposition, and it's a simple rule, kick more goals than the other team.
Yeah. Good kicking is good footy. Everyone's been saying that for years. What a game.
That's ball knowledge right there.
That is absolute ball knowledge. What a game. This is epitomizes the great round of footy. Where was the stat here? 15 lead changes. I had them written down. I had to look at the worm. If anyone wants to go on the AFL, we love
Give us a worm right now.
Yeah, I can't do that. I wish I could do the
Standing worm.
I'll do the worm. Standing worm. 15 lead changes. Absolutely awesome game. Just to start though, Chris Scott had a few weird tactics. He put Jezza to start in the guts, which I didn't mind because he's been a bit off this season. He had a really good impact in the first half, set up a lot of their shots on goal, but it was all GWS in the first quarter. They started off 32-8. They were absolutely awesome. Jake Stringer kicked 2, and then he's done the string. The Jake Hamstringer, they're calling him now. No good.
Package not delivered.
No, not delivered, unfortunately. Hogan.
It's missing a few pieces.
Hogan is the big talking point, though. Jesse Hogan. We're going to talk about him again later. 7 snags. He's like, Coleman, that's mine, boys. I'll be jumping up.
Hey, Jack Gunston.
Jack Gunston is a bit behind now. Absolutely awesome. 7 goals. But all I will say is I've got some angry Geelong mates as well. Ooh. Sam de Koning was nowhere near him for half of those goals. There was a lot of loose. I know there was a few bumps. Loose checking. O'Sullivan as well. It was a bit off him as well. It was a bit loose, but you got to kick him as well. He kicked 7 goals too, extremely accurate.
7 goals, 1.
Or 7 goals, 1,
Come
even
on,
better.
man.
There you go. I'm just rattled by how good that man is. He's such a good kick. He's a little stutter. Sam Taylor as well. I think Alex especially has been talking him up as one of the best fullbacks in the competition. He showed it. He had a clutch spoil towards the end there, which got him over the line. Including getting him over the line, is Jake Riccardi. That clutch goal in the glove.
He was great.
He was great.
Though.
He was great. That's probably one
Friend of the show, Jake Riccardi.
Friend of the show, exactly right.
Travis Cloak glove.
The Travis Cloak glove. Maybe it gave him some superpowers. He didn't really have that many shots from out inside 50, but he had a few good, nice goals. Yep. The left foot snap for the win was absolutely awesome. Then you go down the other end. Just painting people a picture that didn't see it. Blitzarves hits the post. You're like,
it was
Blitzarves it was a sitter right in front. Yeah, you guys.
Stengel missed one as well.
Stengel missed one. Mano looked like he was going to break the game open. He kicked 2 out in the full. We love a bit of Shawnee Mano.
Mano wanted to be the hero for one of them too.
Oh, no. He wasn't. Yeah. Geelong fans will be really, really frustrated with that.
They will. And GWS just go, the G and GMHBA stands for GWS.
Exactly right. Because
Tom Green as well.
Tom Green had 36.
And a goal. That goal from the boundary was awesome.
There was a bit of beef between him and Manor, and I was thinking Manor can't even lace Tom
I
Green's
reckon
boots. So
Green was calling him a hero for going for goal.
He was, and Manor can't lace his boots because,
You mentioned with Jesse Hogan earlier kicking 7 goals, 1. So leading into the weekend, he'd kicked 18 goals, 4.
He's so good.
He kicked 1 goal, 3 against the Swans, which means prior to the Battle of the Bridge, he'd kicked 17-1. He's now kicked 25-5 this year.
That is
not bad.
That's Nick Larkey. No, we're going to talk about that later.
Nick Larkey. Nick Larkey can't lace his boots.
He wishes. The Giants, you said it's the Giants Park or whatever we want to call it down there. They've won 5 straight there. So now they've got the best current win streak. Geelong had 4 straight there. So now they've overtaken them. Now they're 5 straight there at Geelong. And 4 of them.
Is it 4?
No, it's 5 straight wins. I know that for a fact because we originally had it wrong in the run sheet. I promise you.
I think it's 3 of the last, though, have been by 4 points.
No, I didn't say that part yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've got it wrong. He's preempting. You're getting it wrong.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say 4 of them were by 4 points.
But 3 of them were by 4 points.
Oh, we got there in the end.
Sorry.
Shout out to the real stats guy, Barbs.
Damn it. Yeah, Barbs, thank you very much for that. But they've won 5 straight there, and it's just credit to them because they bounced back after a really tough month.
Well, yeah, if they lost this, I was just gonna.
Yeah.
I was actually talking off air with Lockie McCurdy last night. It's like GWS actually need to win this game tomorrow, otherwise their season is like in real danger of slipping away from them. I know they finally get back to NG in the next couple of weeks, but to lose 4 in a row, at any stage of the year is not good, especially now when the ladder is very compressed as well. All I know is GWS, like, if we play Geelong in the finals, can we play in Geelong, not at the MCG?
Well, Toby Green got asked by Sarah Ollie, I think, someone after the game. I can't remember who it was. But saying, do you want to play more home games here? Because they might be selling some games to the MCG.
That's right, yeah.
And he goes, we travel enough because they go to Canberra. They don't even get to play at the showgrounds very often. Like, they're all over the
can we
shop.
just, like, delete the Easter show?
Yeah, they don't get to play their home ground. So, but they should play more games at GMHBA because they love it down there.
Fan bases, Geelong are like, can we not play them here again?
I know.
Yeah.
I think, they'll be all right.
You'd be just so...
How's Catman feeling?
So annoyed.
Catman,
He'd be so annoyed because they had so many chances to win that.
Yeah.
And Giants fans just like, can we
Needed
do it
that.
again?
Needed it.
Needed it. Do it next week.
Needed it. Loved it.
One player I didn't touch on before we ended is Baz Lenker, Bailey Smith. He was so classy.
Recruit of the
lowered
year.
his eyes, and he almost got him over the line. He was their sole, best player by
Any
one.
birds at home?
No, there was none. No,
Makes
he didn't-
sense.
He didn't throw the bird.
GWS at Freo. GWS play Freo at NG next week, 4:15. So
Yep. There we go.
Fraud ball, that one.
Fraud ball.
very
bang.
big potential. All right, let's do it. Ninja Stadium.
It's all right, stats guy.
Tell you what, great product is the Ninja Creamy. So
Not a sponsor
Not
yet.
a sponsor,
Yeah.
but please sponsor us because my fiance and I love making Ninja
There we
Creamies.
go. I don't know.
Homemade ice cream, it's healthy.
Also, I don't know about Ninja Stadium though. It sounds so weird.
It's the Ninja A-League as well.
I know it's weird.
But what isn't healthy was Stats Guy's heart rate.
Oh no!
Look, we were going to give Stats Guy this game, but then he had a massive cry before the
No,
show.
I didn't. I
I'm
didn't.
kidding, I'm kidding.
You were broken.
I'm doing this game.
I'm too broken. I'm happy to you did this.
North
North
Melbourne,
Melbourne.
10-11-71, drew with Brisbane, 10-11-71.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
What a song.
It was a bloody draw.
So join in the chorus.
No.
The draw is on the board. Let's go. Nah.
You thought of this before.
Join
No,
in
never, mate.
the chorus, the draw is on the board.
Gonna
Good
score.
old the draw.
We got 2 points.
First question we got to ask. Talked about it on Thursday. Were Brisbane up for a 4:40 trip to Hobart on a Sunday?
No.
Short answer is no. They won the first quarter, so another loss for North there. They
But it was
can't win the
15-6
first quarter.
and we had more
You
inside
still
50s.
couldn't win the
I
first
know,
quarter,
I
and that
know.
was my lock of the round.
Oh
and
yeah,
it happened.
There you go.
Clap for me. Clap in the comments.
Did Wizard get 2 goals? That was my lock.
He did.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
go on.
Everyone's happy over here. Look,
No,
North. One thing they do well, it's not consistent, is the clearance stuff. And who led that Stats Guy? I'm going to let you talk him up.
Thank you, Tristan Xerri.
Oh.
I don't care if I don't want your TDKs. I don't want your Lloyd Meeks. What he's been crap the last couple of weeks.
Oi.
Xerri, 19 disposals, 36 hitouts, 12 clearances. 12 clearances for a ruckman. He didn't come off for the last quarter and a half as well. He's so good, and he's just got superpowers under that helmet.
100%. And who else?
Not the clearances, but Parker, he got a few clearances, but 23 disposals, a goal, 8 tackles. He put the team on his shoulders. It was one of those guys where we've recruited to be that guy, to be that leader. He did miss an easy shot, which was really annoying, but he made up for it with a goal later, and he was just awesome with the 8. There's not enough guys in our team that can get 8 tackles. I think he's the only guy, really.
Phillips, but he got dropped.
Yeah, he got. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about that.
But yeah, I think North from clearance that was sort of what brought them back into the game. Lions found goals when they needed to. It was just sort of that experience, that game management that they have been so good at this season. We also chatted about this on the preview show, Larkey versus Hipwood and their output. So Hipwood, 3 goals, as Alex likes to say, at another non-AFL ground.
Non-traditional AFL.
Non-traditional
ground.
I was going to say, it's an AFL ground.
But he's also including Marvel in that. So
Marvel
make
is-
that make sense.
Marvel, Norwood, Ninja Creamy Stadium.
We need to call it Ninja.
Sponsor us, please. Look, he had 3 goals. I think he missed one late. That could have put them
Yeah, he
6
did.
6 points up. Larkey only the 1. He missed 2 easy ones in the third. And he just has to kick Stats Guy.
We have brought your mate, Kai's talk.
Oh, shout out.
Oh, shout
We're
out
giving
to
a shout
Kai.
out to Kai.
He got under my skin the other week when he said this, but he's been bang on the last 3 weeks. When the game is on the line, Larkey hasn't been kicking goals.
Like he doesn't have a clutch bone in his body.
He doesn't,
mate.
unfortunately.
Ever
it's
since,
so- it's
ever
so-
since that Swans game where he got towed and he got 2 junk time goals, he has been a mythical creature.
It's been happening for years, though, and it's so stiff to say because he is the most accurate kick in the game by the numbers.
Not
but
this season,
that's
though,
because North aren't in games. So he kicks goals when they're down. When the game is
No pressure.
close, he does tend to miss a lot of
Well,
goals.
that last contest, he could have hit harder as well.
Yeah, the kick wasn't to his favour. But yeah, I do.
Can I say one thing for all the fans out there at Ninja Creamy Stadium? If he kicked 3, everyone gets a free cheeseburger. And he's missed 2 set shots and he only kicked 1.
He's definitely been paid off there.
Yeah, everyone deserves a cheeseburger for a draw because they're all.
Is this
gutted.
where we also point out no Archer, no Curtis, no Logue, no Dawson, no Tucker?
Logue's
Will
being,
Phillips?
I agree with
Some
Curtis
of those are by
and Archer.
choice, though.
Yeah, but I'm just
Curtis
saying.
is a massive out, and I reckon he could have got
Paul
us a few
Curtis
more.
should probably win.
Probably, which is, I just can't believe that this was a draw. Brisbane are the reigning premiers.
Yeah, but you know what? The last time Brisbane was involved in a draw at the end of round 9 in the 440 slot, what did they do?
I don't know.
Won the flag.
Oh.
That's the nerdiest thing you've ever said. Stats guy's turn.
yeah, that's my turn. Oh,
They
damn it.
drew in round 9 away from home in the 440 slot last year and
Who
won
was
the
that
flag.
against? Adelaide?
Crows.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
There we go.
I think
won
I'm
that.
done as far as stats are
So,
concerned.
Brisbane
Lions-
fans have been pumped up now.
Yeah, so how the fan base is feeling Brisbane? We're going to win the flag!
After hearing that, Brisbane fans are like, no one's stopping us.
I tell you what, they were very worried about Charlie Cameron. He was nowhere to be seen again.
Well, he was good against the Suns last week.
He's had one good game this year.
I think he had a delayed preseason. Sometimes it happens and I'm going to let him off.
Yeah.
I thought Jasper Fletcher was their best on. I think he set up so many goals and he
He's
was
very
really
good.
good.
Yeah, but you can't spell your name like that.
Well, Jasper.
That's his parents' fault,
Yeah.
mate.
No, I'm not giving him any credit.
And North Melbourne fans are just like, we didn't lose, but we still can't win.
3 weeks in a row where we genuinely could have won. The Port one they probably deserved.
you could have won
Essendon,
that.
we should have probably won.
You should have won the
But
last
shoulda,
3
coulda,
games.
woulda. Doesn't matter.
So is this where, as a North fan, and I'm asking this to you, and obviously
Sure.
we've, friend of the show, Marnie as well, and a few other North fans that do watch this, are you concerned that you've been so close 3 weeks in a row, you probably should have won those 3 games, that next week you play Richmond and there is every chance you fall off the face of the earth and get belted?
Oh, there's no chance. Oh, I don't want to say that out loud on West Touchwood. I don't think we'll get belted, but I know
Is
he's
there
saying
a flat performance incoming? Remember last year you played good for like a month, then you went to Sydney and lost by 90.
They need to win this game and win it semi-comfortably.
Yeah.
I'm going to call another draw, though.
I was about to say, because after that, you play Collingwood.
I can see 2 draws. in a row.
I don't want another draw. I want to
I
beat
get
bloody
another
Richmond. Anyway, I reckon that's enough.
So how are the fan bases feeling? You just
stressed.
experienced it for 4 minutes.
Stressed. You can check it out on the socials, as we said before.
Yes.
Funny.
Funny, but sad. And 2 points in the bag, boys. What more can you ask for?
Yep. All right, let's get to the tipping results of the week. I got 5 because I decided to tip Fremantle and St Kilda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I tipped
did.
Saints.
I think I got 7.
Nice.
Who are this-
Spence got 8.
I got 6. And I might not tip Saints again because I really thought
I
that
will
would
be tipping St.
You need to stop tipping them. It's costing you the tips, man.
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
Tip Gold Coast. Big core results. I had Aaron Francis kick 3 goals, then he missed a goal from 3 centimetres out.
he did.
That looked like
That
a
was
goal
weird.
to me, but I think
I
I'm
thought it
blind.
was a goal too.
I thought it was a goal. but-
Anyway,
yeah.
Cameron linged it.
He did.
Cameron linked it.
What
That's
was
not
my
bad.
one? 30 and 2 goals for Nass. He got the 30. Not 2 goals.
Nah.
2 goals. I went Lawler and Harley 40 plus 4 goals,
Nah,
and that was
nowhere near it.
That was, like I said on the show, that was an outrageous call.
Marcus
I
was
was
stiff.
trying.
He had both teams scoring 100 plus in Suns and Dogs. He was literally 4 points off.
Nah, sucked in.
It's not here, so it's all right.
All right, Leo, this is your time to shine, mate. Best on ground of the week in a 1, 2, 3 order because somehow for you, 3 is the best.
Hey, how does the
Brownlow.
Brownlow work?
Okay, sure.
Can I give an honourable mention to Zach Reid? 27 touches, 14
Yes.
marks,
Did he make it?
8 intercept possessions.
This is
elite.
why we didn't mention Zach Reid in the talking up of in the Essendon Sydney game, how good Essendon were,
He was
because we
awesome.
knew Leo would
he
get a
was
mention in here.
superb.
Underrated super coach.
No,
as
don't
well.
care about Supercoach.
Nerd.
A lot of Essendon fans post games were finding receipts of people after like round 3 going, Zach
Yeah,
Reid's no
that
good.
was me. I said he wasn't good, so kudos to him for coming
Yeah,
back.
make a
He
video
was
about him.
awesome.
He was great. Good
Listen,
job.
I'm a Swans fan. I'm still dirty.
Well done, Zach Reid. You get an honourable mention on AFL Today. Good job. 1 vote.
Here we go.
T. Xerri.
Oh.
19 disposals, 12 clearances.
Awesome.
Led the way for North Melbourne in the middle. Great job, Tristan.
He's made Big O now called medium size though.
Ha!
I reckon.
Big O didn't play. It was Darcy Fort. So good
No,
job.
Big O was there at the start, wasn't he? And then Darcy fought.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I'm going crazy.
maybe I'm going
Anyway,
crazy.
Leo, keep going.
Sorry, keep going.
2 votes. Jay Elliott. 6
Oh.
goals was the difference, I thought, up there.
How do you
Luke
score
Ryan-
6 goals and 2 votes? That's crazy.
Well, because
I know.
the person that has 3 votes Jay Hogan, 7 goals, 22 touches, and 9 marks. Well done, Jesse. I'm sure you're watching this. Good job, buddy.
AFL Today gives respect to forwards.
He just called Jesse Hogan buddy. That's
Also,
that's
all
brutal.
forwards and a ruck. I was going to say all tall people.
Yeah, we aren't midfield biased here, and a tall defender was the honourable mention.
Yeah.
This is an anti-midfielder show.
This proves that Elliott and Hogan should be getting 3 votes.
In fairness, Jamie Elliott got lucky that he didn't have an opponent for half the game.
Yeah, but he kicked him from like 50, a few of them. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'd forget Jamie Elliott's goals that snuck over the line reminded me of Dane Rampy's loss of depth perception too.
Oh yeah, that was strange.
There was one that was bad, and there was the
Yeah.
one that went like 3 meters over. And it's fine. I just wanted to point that out. Stats guy, best team of the round, full credit.
Best team of the round. Are we doing it like you did?
Yeah.
Coast, 1 vote.
Coast.
No, Gold Coast, 1 vote. I thought they were awesome. The Dogs, everyone's talking them up as a top 4
Beating
caliber
the
team.
Dogs is a good win.
It was in Darwin, and they just know how to win there. I think they should try and play more games there because they don't lose. They're 7 in a row. So they're my 1 vote. 2 votes. C. Collingwood. 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 I thought that was a great win. They had 4 of their best players out. They had a 5-day break. Nick Dacos didn't have to shine. Their depth stood up. Their forwards stood up. So that's 2 votes. And then the 3 votes. They've had a month of hell. Stringer did a hammy and they still won. GWS is my 3 votes. They were awesome. I think getting over the line, Geelong at Taxpayer Park. I don't care that they've won all those games in a row before that. That is a huge win, a confidence-boosting win that they needed. They didn't even beat Sydney with no forward line, and then they do that. So that's my best team.
I think Collingwood's was a better win.
Yeah, but Freo are frauds.
You're not going to
Geelong
change
aren't.
my mind, mate.
Geelong aren't frauds.
Yeah, but Geelong should have won.
Doesn't matter, they didn't. That's why GWS are my 3 votes.
Boo.
And bang goes stats go. All right, that is us done and dusted for AFL Today. Today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications bell so anytime we do a video, it does pop up on your feed. Now, do note, we are doing the 2 shows a week now. I've tweaked the format a little, so the Thursday show comes out first thing Thursday morning. So it will be available on YouTube at 6 a.m.
Spotify, yeah.
And Spotify, all your podcast platforms, 6 a.m. Thursday mornings for the Thursday preview show. So you can listen to that leading into the weekend. You can catch it on Friday if you miss it as well. But Sunday and Thursday is the way forward for us. And as well, make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Get around us there. Having a bunch of fun at the moment. A lot of social gear to come in the coming weeks. And of course, subscribe and star to all of our shows on a podcast app. Cricket today, even though the IPL got cancelled over the weekend. We'll figure it out. Anyway, AFL today. AFLW preseason starts around Australia tomorrow for all of the competition, so that's good to see. Hold all tickets. We tipped up an absolute storm over the weekend for your punting.
That's what he does.
That's what we do. And of course, True Bloods. I don't know how they're going to be feeling. Deebs was actually sick yesterday and couldn't get to the game. And I had a missed call from Mad, so not ideal. And of course, Honest Beers, Wally will be up and about because Hawthorn won. Leggy will be back to himself because St Kilda lost. But of course, get around to all those shows, podcast apps, and YouTube as well. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yep. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
That sounded way too...
I'm just still stressed about North Melbourne.
I was about to say, mate, you've got one more week of me here and then you're in the host chair for 5 weeks.
I'm not even joking because you've been away for a bit. It felt really weird in this chair, but it's very comfy.
I've got one more show. I've got one more show left and then I'm off for 5 weeks.
Woo! I'm joking. I like doing the host chair. It was good.
Massive thank you to producer Gerald behind the camera. And the boys will catch you on Thursday. Marcus will be up and about after the Bomb Rays 1. But we will catch you later on AFL Today.